everyone. Thank you so much for taking a look at this video. Here I'm going to show you a little hack that I utilize to edit some of my podcasts. Now, a lot of people like to say you should use like Audacity or GarageBand or things to that effect to edit your podcast, but I actually utilize Imovie to edit my podcast. And also I use a couple of other tools as well, but Imovie is kind of my go-to if I just need to do some quick editing, very simple editing. We're not mixing, mastering anything. We're just doing some really quick editing. So I take the interview. So let's say I do an interview on Zoom, and then what you'll do is you'll go ahead and you'll upload that interview into iMovie. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I actually already have it here, but I just want to take you through the steps. So you'll open up iMovie. Let's go out actually. So I'm going to go out of here. You'll open up iMovie, and then inside of iMovie, you're going to bring in your file. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm just going to bring in any file because at this point, I've already gotten the video we want to edit. So let's say I brought in the file now, and here's the file. Now I'm going to take this file and drag it down. Remember, we recorded this particular interview in Zoom, or on Zoom, I should say. So on Zoom, I'm going to take the file once I've gotten it from Zoom. I'm going to download, I'm going to drop the file here into iMovie. And now here we go. We have the audio from this file. Now you can also take your intro and place your intro here. So I'm going to go grab my intro, which might be in a different folder here. Let's see. I think this is it here. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to go with that. So I'm going to place my intro right in front. So you want to make sure that it's not underneath it, because if you place it that way, then you can mess up your, there we go. There we go. Okay, let's do it again. Drag and drop. So what you need to remember here, and what I just forgot, is that you need to connect it to an image. So I'm going to take my image here. I'm going to drop it here. And then I'm going to connect my audio to this image. And then I'm going to drag it out through the full term of this particular audio. So once this audio stops, then it'll stop. And if you ever want to make this smaller or condense it down, you can do so as well. So you can just go here and you can make it larger so you can see where it stops, where your audio stops. And here it is, right? So I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to go here, right click, delete. And I'm going to drag this photo all the way to the end of my audio. So now this is my intro. This is actually my middle break, but we'll go ahead and use it. Thanks so much for listening to the Just Speaks Digital podcast. So there you go, right? So we're going to act as though that will be the intro. Now we're going to move into the podcast itself. So here I am with the beginning of the podcast. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Just Speaks Digital podcast. Okay, and there we go. Now, if you wanted to add music to this, what you can do is grab your music and you're just going to place it on the undertone of this video. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Just. And then you can have this music as loud as you want or as low as you want. I usually put it to about maybe a 6 or a 7, depending on how loud I want it. Digital podcast. My name is Jessica. I go by Just Speaks, and today I have a wonderful guest for you all. So it's just a very soft kind of underlying tone for the music. So there we go. I've placed this all together. So let's say that's all I need to do to it. If you ever need to edit any of this, or let's say you have like a pause in the interview, you can take a look here and you can look at different spaces where there's no one talking. This is usually where your pauses are happening because they will look like this. There'll be no audio or no wave lengths here. And like I said, if you want to make this bigger, you can certainly draw this out so you can see where that pause is. See, if we draw this out, then we can see there's a huge pause. Let's see, let's find a good one right here. So then we're just going to click on this. And then we can right click, split clip. So we're going to click it, right click, split clip. And we're going to take this out. And now it should continue. So here we go. So now we took out that gap of time when either myself or the guest wasn't talking. Now, I wouldn't recommend to go in here and clip out a bunch of stuff. So if you're going to utilize iMovie, then definitely utilize iMovie as a one-size-fits-all, right? As a one and done. And when I say one and done, one size fits all, like you recorded the podcast, you're just going to take it as is and use it. Now, if you have a bunch of, you know, if you want to go in and be, you know, very, very precise, let me put it that way, and you want to take out the ums and the ahs and yeah, if you want to do all of that, then I suggest you just go to Upwork or Fiverr, or you find someone that can go in and really just edit this thing for you. Imovie is just a quick hack that you can place your podcast together in one fatal swoop. So we've gone ahead and we've done that. So now we have our intro, we have our podcast, it's all there. And if we wanted to see and make sure that it's all together, we can just go ahead and shrink that down. And then we're going to scroll this all the way over. So let's go ahead and shrink it all the way down. There we go. And we can actually do it like this. And there we go. This is our whole podcast episode, all almost an hour of it, right? We have the intro. That was 1 minute and 1 minute, 0.6 seconds. We have this 1 minute, 0.5 seconds where we have this music playing underneath our podcast episode audio here. This is our podcast episode audio. So we're basically taking an MP4 and turning it into an MP3. So the MP4 is your file for a video, and the MP3 is the file for audio. So now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and export this file so that we can upload it to our server. If you're utilizing Libsyn or you're using Anchor, so on and so forth, whoever you're using to distribute your podcast, we're going to go ahead and get the file for them. So we're going to click on this arrow. We're going to click on File. And then here, you'll see, I always make sure that I change this tag from iMovie. I usually just put Joss Speaks Digital. Give yourself the credit if you want to place your name or your business name. This doesn't really matter, but here's where you're going to title the file. So we're going to say interview. So this is her interview. And we're going to change this. Now, we can keep the file the same way if we want to upload it to YouTube or a video platform like Vimeo or something to that effect. But what we want is we want an MP3 file. So we're going to change this to audio. And now that will change it to an MP3 file format. And then we're going to click on next, and it's going to take this and export it and turn it into an actual MP3 file. So let's go ahead and allow it to do that. So of course, it's going to ask you to tag it. Is this what you want it to be called? It'll ask you one more time. You say yes. You're going to click save. And interview MP3. And here it is. This is our interview MP3. So you'll know the difference because it'll look like this, and it'll have interview MP3, whereas your MP4 files will have the MP4 movie, and they'll actually have a picture to go along with them. Whereas the MP3 files will have like the musical sign and then just have the actual MP3 audio listing here as a title. So that is how you utilize Zoom to record your interviews, but also extract your MP3 audio so that you can send them over to your distribution platform and get it out to your audience. My name is Jessica. I go by Joss Speaks. This is just one of the many tools that experts use inside of our TX3 distribution guide. You can actually get that guide by going to bit.ly/ You can actually take a look at that guide, and you can go ahead and click on the link in the description. It'll take you right there. All you have to do is tell me where to send it, place in your email address, and I'll send that right over to you. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Wishing you wellness in life and in business. Peace.